What's going on, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back with another installment of the Hall of Game podcast. And you guys know that what I do on this particular segment is I bring in a lot of talented African American men that are in many different industries. It could be trucking, it could be tech, it could be the healthcare field. And today we are talking with my brother HT Logistics, very very popular black trucker channel out of the Midwest, and me and him have been collaborating since 2017. And he's going to basically talk about the state of trucking in this period of the coronavirus pandemic. Like I said, he's very, very knowledgeable. He's very, very successful, very smart business owner, very, 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 very savvy. He's been in the transportation industry for over 10 years. So he'll be able to talk to our brothers today and ask some questions about the trucking. And make sure you check out his channel, HT Logistics. All right, HT Logistics. He's really one of the most informative black men out there about these subjects. And also, not only that, but traveling too, right? So he'll talk about that. Big Chris, go ahead and shout yourself out, man. Let them know what's going on, family.
It's good to be back on here. I always have fun when I come on here with you, but yeah, just I do it all. Like I know we used to have a little running joke, the Triple T channel, tricking, trucking, and traveling. But you know, I've slowed down. Goodness. I've slowed down on the tricking, so but I'm still trucking and traveling.
Right. Oh my goodness, it's been so many years, man. We've been working together, brother, and you like I said, you give a lot of information, and thank you, because I know that you don't have to do this. You are a very, very, very talented guy. I really mean that, man. You just very smart. You understand the business, and a lot of your stuff you do it because out of love for brothers and love to help people, which you don't have to do, man. And that's why you are the reigning trucking channel of the year for NegroManosphere.com. I think you've held that championship at least the last 2 years. I think I'll owe you another belt. Shout out to all the truckers in the building. Big Chris, my brother Elate Class Trucking out of Indianapolis. Justin March, brother Cam Gibson, thank you. Wrench Turner. All right. See, I got to bring the truckers back. Declaration. HT Logistics, go ahead and tell us about the transportation industry, man. How long have you been involved in this industry and things like that?
Altogether, I've been involved almost 12 years. This will be the 12th year after August. Like I said, I got into it mainly because I got tired of warehouse work. So, and, flipping burgers at McDonald's, stuff like that. So somebody let me know about what's going on with the trucking. I went to trucking school, and then I ended up just getting to my CDL. And then I started off doing kind of like box truck work. And then I did when I was delivering Chinese food as well. But that's pretty much how I got into it. But I didn't really start becoming an owner, though, until about 7 years ago, when I realized that what I was doing as a company driver, I could either double that or I could triple that. But at the time, I didn't know much about the industry on how to get in. And that's why I created my channel about 4 years ago. That's why I created my channel, because the same questions people ask me, even today, even in 2020, I was asking those same questions, but I just didn't have a resource to go to. Now, the people that want to get into it now, they have at least a secondary opinion that they can look at.
Oh yeah, and everybody knows that HT Logistics is the PhD in trucking, right? As far as the owner operator. Shout out to brother Demac, the trucker, brother BP Thomas. He got a new photo up. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you, brother, super chats. A lot of our brothers, as you know, a lot of our fan base in the Black Manosphere are guys who are truckers or in manufacturing. And salute to all you brothers out there that have been delivering goods throughout the country. Thank you, guys. Truckers are some of the most important people, just as much as healthcare. Without them, we would have nothing, right? So I really, really have a big respect for the black trucking community in particular. So thank you, brothers. I really appreciate you. People are always talking about, Big Chris, like during now the coronavirus, this pandemic now, a lot of businesses, a lot of people that were in certain fields kind of slowed down, right? But I wanted to know from you, what about now? Because a lot of brothers are looking to switch fields because the field that they're in isn't paying enough, or the field that they're in is not necessarily good enough, or something like that. Is trucking still a good option? And we do have women that's truckers too, right? Faith, that's a moderator. She's a trucker. So shout out to Faith. So she's doing pretty good as a trucker. Shout out to all the truckers coming through, man. Is this a good industry right now to go into as a brother?
Yeah, I still think it is, and the main reason because the pandemic or the crisis only affected business owners. It didn't affect the whole entire trucking industry as like a employee, because most of the people that were not in what we call niche, niche markets as far as like hauling luxury items like cars or animals. If you were in just a regular traditional job, which most of us is going to start that way, it's not it didn't affect you. You were still running, you were getting your miles, you were making your money, and you were probably making more money than your typical regular job that's minimum wage. So I think trucking will always be a good industry for somebody who wants to elevate. It don't matter if you want to play the short game or the long game. If you want a 20-year career, it'd still be good. If you just want to get some money and get out, you can do that too. But I think overall, it will always be a good industry to get into.
All right, all right. Shout out to the Ghost, Third World Columbia. Now let's talk about this because before I know a lot of our brothers that have been moderating for me, like brother BP Thomas. I see Demek here all the time. Um, Shout out to the Ebro brother, Ebro Queenu. You were talking to me about this. You said, hey, the rates were going down for the owner operator such as yourself. So let's kind of talk about that for those people who don't know. What's the difference between a company driver and the owner operator driver?
The company driver is gonna get hired on. He'll be either a W-2 employee or a 1099 employee, but they're gonna run for what we call cents per mile. So if you agree to, like, I'm gonna drive for a company and they're gonna pay me 50 cents a mile, that's it. You're just gonna get your 50 cent a mile. You're gonna try to run as many miles as you want. Now, when you want to switch over and become an owner, you got to go opposite of being a company. It's not about running the miles because you're only getting cents per mile. So the more miles you make, the more money you get. You don't want to do that as an owner. Now you're getting what we call either a percentage. You can get mileage, but if anybody's who's been following me, no, I never recommend mileage, because when you do get a rate, which is what you get paid for the load, when you have a percentage, your rate will go up as a percentage. It'll never go up as a mileage driver. So when you're an owner operator, you get paid per load. So let's say you get $1,000 to go X amount of miles. We're just gonna say 500, so that'd be $2 a mile. If you agree to lease on, what we call leasing on, which is you have your own truck and you're working for a company, and they pay you 80%, then you get $800 for every thousand. And that's really pretty much the difference. That's why when the rates went down during the pandemic, it only
Mm-hmm.
affected them more than affected a company driver. Company driver, he or she who especially works for a mega carrier, they were still running because it didn't matter. You're getting 40 cents, 50 cents a mile, so it don't matter. The company is more struggling than the actual company driver, but the owner and most of the guys that I know offline, they were home anyway the last 2 months. They just now getting back into getting out here running because the rates are going up. They're getting 250, sometimes $3 a mile right now because all the plants are open back up. The meat houses are open. This is high produce season for people that are in refrigeration.
Mm-hmm.
When the trailer is refrigerated, and that's what I haul right now. I haul refrigerated trailer. I'm actually getting loaded right now as I'm talking to you. So,
Oh
um,
wow, okay.
yeah. So I'm getting money in and giving game.
No, that's right. 'Cause when the borders open back up, you get that trigger and start waiting. That's another conversation. But
Right. Right.
okay,
But yeah, that's mainly the difference. One is agreeing on you're going to get pretty much a pay of cents per mile as a company driver, and if you're going to be
right.
owner operator, you have all the responsibility of the equipment of the truck. If you have your own
Okay.
trailer like me, you have responsibility, and then you agree to either a rate that you're going to get a percentage on with a company, or if you're fully independent, what we call independent contractor, then it's an agreement between you and the broker, whatever you agree on. Just to wrap it up.
Okay. Let me give a shout out. Shout out to brother Lionel. I keep missing my brother. We're gonna do a show again in the next 24 hours, right? Shout out to Lionel at Davings Savings Minus Debt. I wish I would have had him on that credit show. Uncle Tony always hooking me up with the 429 super chat. Thank you, my brother. And guys, like the video and don't forget to subscribe to HT Logistics. We'll put his link there in a minute. But let me ask you this. So, right now, because I know that some brothers, when you're the owner operator, driving the truck is one thing, right? But then understanding the business is another. Which I looking at your channel, you actually understand the business so much so that you have a board, a whiteboard. You could actually teach the business. You teach every aspect of it. Um, how do you actually get loads now? Because when you're working for the company, they already have the contract with the person that's obviously that you're loading or whatever. But when you're the owner operator and you have your own truck, how are you getting the loads to drive and drop off and go back and pick up again? How do you do that?
Okay, there's three ways to do it, and real easy. Number one, and this is for people that are fully independent. That means you have your own operating authority. That means you are the company pretty much. You either can have a customer that is between you and a customer that you made. You can have your own broker. This is where I recommend. This is what I recommend. I recommend people that want to be independent to have a broker first, then work on getting a customer because the broker, he or she have the loads where they can provide to you. That's pretty much your bread and butter right there. Or you can do what everybody else has been doing, which is opposite of what I teach. Just get on the load board and find anything. They have a board that's what it's called, load board. You have DAT is a popular one. You have Internet Truck Stop is a popular one. You have Loads Right Now is a popular one, or Right Now Loads, whatever it's called. You get on their board, you type in the city that you're in, the location, and then you would
Mm-hmm.
post your truck, and then a bunch of loads will just pop up. And then it's up to you to decide if this load is worth me running or not. And pretty
Mm.
much, I recommend run for $2 or more a mile. Some people are going to disagree with that. Run for $2 or more a mile. If you can consistently get $2 a mile, you'll make money, unless your expenses are just ridiculous. But
Mm-hmm.
most people for $2 a mile always get more, obviously. But I'm saying if you're averaging $2 a mile, you'll make money, and that's normally how you do it. Now, there's another one, fourth way. This is not for independent. This is for people that own a truck, but they are working for a carrier. This is they're not they're their own company, but they work within
Mm-hmm.
another company. They get
Mm-hmm.
loads provided from them. That's it. They don't have to worry about load board brokers, customers. They just get loads from that carrier, and they work off percentage. So it could be 80%, 85%. I always recommend people 85 or more. That's going to work out better in the long run, and that's pretty much how you can do that. So you can use like those four different strategies.
Okay. And I see we got a lot of brothers that are in here right now, and guys that have questions. You know the drill. It's called the big super chat. All right. Thank you, brother Justin. Doubles has been a tanker for the win. Shout out to brother Justin. Yeah, I could tell that's a good trucker, brother. Let me ask you a question. If you are a brother right now, a lot of brothers have found themselves, at least their work cut out or completely eliminated right now, are are looking to get into something more stable. Because now we're seeing what essential really means, right?
Hmm.
And so what I want to know is, oh, a shout out to the brother Ebo. Okay, I'll ask a question here. Uh, uh, let me ask this question first because the brother paid for, right? Ebo Quino, thank you, brother. He's out of the UK. Wow. AC Logistics, in your opinion, what are the risks in franchising for Amazon Logistics and pros of cons of that arrangement?
I'm assuming he's talking about if you're just running for them, or if he's talking about actually trying to become like part owner of that. Because I know if he's talking about running for them right now is not the greatest because they don't the rates aren't the great right now. They're just not that good.
Okay.
Um, but he'd have to kind of clarify that a little bit more because I don't know if he's talking about actually getting a piece of Amazon, not actually just signing up for them because they have something called Amazon Relay. If you have your own authority, what you can do is you can sign up for them as a carrier and you can haul their freight. So I don't
Okay.
know if he's referring to that or if he's referring to something different.
Let's assuming he's referring to that. What would be your thoughts about that?
I say right now you're gonna take what you can get because right now the rates are not they're not that good. I mean I haven't hauled a load for them in weeks, because it's just they don't want to pay that well. And I think a lot of that is because obviously the crisis, but Amazon, you got to remember you're always going to have competition with them because they got their own trucks now. It's not all just carriers, It used to be where we just haul their trailers and you could, kind of demand, but I know right now they got their own local guys too, and it's hard to really get the rate you're looking for with them, for now. Might change though. It might get better, but right now it's a little tough.
Okay. Let me do this. And shout out to all the brothers in the building. Let me kind of ask you this, right? And thank you, brother Ebo. If you are a person looking to get into the business and switch, let's say you're doing something right now, coronavirus has completely um, taken you out, and now you want to get into trucking. Are there any different rules right now post coronavirus um, that make it easy or difficult? Is it a good time to get into the business right now because of where the country is? Is this a good time to actually get into trucking?
I think it is. You're in demand right now. But I mean, really, to be honest with you, you can say that truckers are always in demand because somebody's got to move that toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to give that bottled water, that Campbell's soup. It's just you got to be smart about it. You got to get
Mm-hmm.
into what's being utilized. Hauling horses or ponies or Ferraris or Lambos or houses and stuff, that ain't it right now. Nobody's going to spend 250,000 right now on a house. Nobody's going to want to buy a luxury horse for their whatever horse racing thing. But everybody needs Campbell soup. Everybody wants toilet paper. You've seen people trying to rip each other's head off for toilet paper, disinfectant
Oh
wipes,
yeah,
and water.
absolutely.
So,
Right.
that's why the common freight or what we call general freight, or you can go on the other side, refrigeration. What I'm doing, like right now, I'm picking up a load of produce that's going down to Southern Illinois. This is something that needs to be delivered. It's going to Walmart, but it needs to be delivered. This isn't like a luxury thing. No, this is something that people want. You know, and that's what you get into. And the most general freight or most carriers that you're going to look into, that's what they haul. So for somebody getting in right now, who maybe going to be an owner, maybe you're going to be an owner next year. According to Trump, he think the economy is going to be better next year. We don't know. But let's say you just want to work and get more than $300 a week, get into trucking right now. I'd be looking for a CDL school that's open that can get me into training right now.
Okay. Okay. So let me do this and shout out to brother Daryl Ross. Thank you so much, brother Gary Mack. Shout out to the young truckers out there. I've been in the industry one way or another for 20 years. Truck, trailer, house, and car paid for. I'm just working to save my money and moving to the DR. Shout out to the brother, man. Good to see the brothers out there. Shout out to my brother again, Elite Class Trucking. I believe he's now hauling gas. Vincent Henderson, 7 years in trucking, hauling hazmat tankers. I want to buy a rig and start my own tanker outfit, but I've heard hazmat loads don't really pay well, and the insurance premiums will bankrupt you. Thoughts? Okay, let me ask. I'm gonna go back to Brother Ebo. Since I'm talking about their arrangement where a person pays $10,000 with help with getting trucks, etc. You sort out your drivers, etc.
Yeah, see that the only risk factor he has with that is if you don't want to go in like you got the 10,000 you're gonna put up. You're gonna put that up. Okay, they're gonna help you get drivers and stuff. You don't want to go in with more debt though. If you've got like for example, if you have money where you can operate with them, then that's fine. But if you put that 10,000 out there and you kind of work it with them, but you run on thin ice after that, that's just bad business 101. I wouldn't even suggest that. But if you've got money, which if you have money, you wouldn't really need them. You could actually just go get your own stuff. But I'm just saying, if you have money, you want to invest with them just to give it a shot. As long as you have capital backing you, you should be okay. But you must understand that they're not paying the maximum what they're paying right now, though. Or like it's not at a level to me. This is my opinion, but it's not at a level to where I would want to invest with them because I don't know after I pay my drivers and everything, I work this agreement with them. How much am I really making? Because if you're just making a few dollars off each driver, then what's the purpose of being in business?
Okay, so let me do do this. All right, sorry, I'm getting to some things here. Um, let me talk about this real quick, right? And shout out to this brother. He asked, I want to buy a rig and start my own tanker outfit, but I've heard hazmat loads don't really pay well, and the insurance premiums will bankrupt you. Thoughts?
Yes, those the premiums for hazmat or anything that's like explosive, like fuel, gas, stuff like that. And I know our brother, elite class trucking, he know a little bit about this. Um, Yeah, they can be very high, especially when it's your first year. He's trying to do it independently. So
Hmm.
the question is, he's got to go get a premium first. He's got to get a quote, And he's got to realistically ask himself, after paying for the pumps, the tank, or the tanker, the actual unit itself, and everything, you pay for everything up front, and then you got the high down payment that you're going to have to put on the actual premium. What is it worth? Is it how much are you getting to where you feel like it's going to actually work? You know,
Okay.
yeah, they just
Okay.
they just they just loaded me.
Okay. So let me ask you this real quick. For somebody that is looking to get into the business now, and I know a lot of guys that are already in there. What's going on, Erica? Let me ask a question, right? Shout out to Sister Erica Williams.
All
Okay.
right.
Let me ask you a question, HT. What if you are a person that you don't drive trucks? I know this is interesting because, like, I know Erica is somehow involved, I don't know, in brokering. But let's say if you don't want to become a trucker right now, but you do realize that you have skills that you can add into the trucking industry. Can you get into the trucking industry without being a trucker?
Yeah, there's many ways to do it. You could
Okay.
file your own authority, and you can start your own trucking company. As far as like if you got money, because there's a lot of guys that they sitting on 50, 60,000. They'll go out and just get a bunch of trucks and trailers and start hiring drivers and run as an authority. And what they do is they get the loads, or they're like the dispatch or whatever. They do it that way. You got some people that they go into brokerage and they've never drove a truck in their life, but what they do is they go get their authority, because you got to have your active authority to get it. You get your own authority. You get a bond. I think the bond is I think it's $70,000 or something like that. You get a
Okay.
bond. You can start that way and get your own brokerage. And now the tough thing about having a brokerage, you got to find a way to get the customers, the shippers, the people. You got to put people together. So that's always a little. I would say that's a little challenging. But it just there's many different ways to do it though.
Okay. Let me let me let me ask you this. What's the
Oh, yeah.
easiest way
Hold on.
for a person that okay, go ahead.
This one. No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
What's the easiest way for a person that is not in trucking or a trucker to get into trucking? If they're not in the truck, like if they don't get a CDL, what's the easiest way to, or is the easiest way to get into trucking is actually become a trucker yourself?
All right, hold on, real quick. I just.
Oh shit, Professor X.
All right.
Shout out to Professor X. Salute. Thank you for the topic. Oh, I gotta bring my goddamn truck stop podcast back. I gotta bring my truck. Oh shit, Mr. Palmer. He a trucker. Okay, y'all gonna make me bring my truck driving thing then. So Red says Upward Bound. 20 years in the business. This guy that's talking with O'Shea really knows her stuff. Yeah, man. I don't bring no bums onto my shit. Y'all niggas know what's up. I only bring the best niggas over here. Let me ask you, shout out to Brother Professor X. Now, Erica Williams says this. I manage 12 trucks, no CDL, got my authority. I have about 6 black guys on staff. How does that work?
It sounds like she's doing good as long as all 12 trucks is I don't know if that's hers or not, but if she's managing 12 trucks, as long as they filled, whoever owns them and all that, they should be doing all right. But as far as 6 black guys on staff, hey, I mean, if you're employing your people, why not? But I don't really. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's good to help our brothers and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, when
Uh-oh.
you dealing,
Uh-oh.
no, I'm not touching, I'm not throwing a screw in there, or nothing. But when you're dealing with this kind of business,
Mm-hmm.
it don't matter the color. It matter about is that truck is profitable or not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I mean, some of the and I'm not trying to hate on everybody, but I just know truckers in general. It's not a color thing with me. It's just you got to have the right driver. Because I've talked to so many fleet owners. That was always their downfall. Drivers. These guys going through the scales. Some of them drunk. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to take care of equipment. And before you know it, after a year of having a fleet and trying to manage people, you realize you can't even get a renewal on your insurance because your CSA score, which is a score that you get for safety, is so
Mm-hmm.
high. But guess what? Guess what these other drivers get to do, right? They get to move on to a different company. Oh, I'm going out of business. You guys ruined it for me. I can't get insured nowhere. Oh, hey, that's on you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'm going over here to ABC Logistics. I'm going over, or they might come over to me. I'm going over to HT.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know, but so you gotta. It's just about the driver at the end of the day. It don't matter. I don't care. It's nice to employ your own people though, but at the end of the day, I want somebody that's going to run my truck efficiently, that I'm going to be able to profit with, that we can be a team together, not just, oh man, everybody's out, he's out to get everybody, but that's just my 2 cents.
All right, all right. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to brother Young J, brother out of Cleveland, down in Dallas on the road, trucker gang hashtag. Shout out to F child support, brother. Okay, I see you brothers in the building. Um, let me ask you this. Shout out to Streamy Wonder Tie City in the building. Let me ask you this. So with the pandemic, you want to go and get a CDL, okay? Let's say if you're brand new to the industry, you want to go and get the CDL. What's the best way to get the CDL? What would you recommend a specific school, or and then a specific first company that you want to partner with to get some experience?
I always recommend the school, but I know people financial situations are different. So
Okay,
if you, at the end of the day, and anybody that's got experience, all the brothers that's in the chat, that they have, like, 5+ years experience, they'll all tell you the same thing. The first year, all it is you got to get experience. You got to get to work so that you
okay,
can, control your career after that. So it doesn't really matter if you go to a trucking school or if you go to a company. If there's a company out there that's willing to give you a chance and they say, hey, come on over, you got to work here for a year, but we'll help you get your CDL, just do that, because your career really don't start until after your first year. Because after your first year, you can get a better paying job. You
right.
can have better dictation of where you want to. Some guys want to go local. They don't want to do over the road no more. They work a year over the road. And I'm telling you, I'm out here. I talk to these guys. I feel like I'm a therapist. I mean, this dude act like this is the worst thing that ever happened to them, and they want to be local. Well, once they get the experience, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go local. So the first year, either go to school if you can afford it, because some places will not fund you. There are some states that they will fund you
Mm-hmm.
to go to trucking school, but then if not, just go on ahead and get on with a mega carrier, or lots of them out there that offer trucking school all the time. Work for them for a year and do what
Mm-hmm.
you want to do after that. Some people just go straight to being an owner after that.
Okay, okay. Shout out to Dr. J, right? He's a brother that has a PhD, but also is trucking right now. Been doing so for the last, I think, 2 or 3 years, and doing very well. Shout out to Dr. JC out of the. He's now located somewhere in the Florida area. Shout out to my brother. But let me ask you this: becoming an owner operator, in today's game and buying the first truck. Now I know you talk about that a whole lot on your channel. At least when basically you talk a lot about owner operator strategies and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, what truck should a person be getting when they first start in looking to get into the business? I know some brothers haul different things. Some brothers haul gasoline. Some brothers do. So how do you decipher? Okay, I'm saving up my money. I need to get a truck, and how do I go about this? And what kind of truck should I be getting in all this?
Okay, the first thing I'm definitely gonna recommend is I have a playlist which I have a class. It's called Class and Session Series. I have a video in that playlist, and it will help them understand what I'm about to break down in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
But there's a video. It's called "What Type of Truck to Buy." Basically, what they need to learn. If anybody listening that is new, I'm not talking about experienced guys. Guys that are new, they're listening in. You need to learn and understand motor, transmission, and gear ratio. Basically, all that is going to help you decide because of what part of the country you're running. If I'm on the East Coast and I'm running a lot of those mountains and slopes and hills and valleys, you're going to need something that's going to have sufficient power and good ratio for pulling power. That's what your rear end is. It's for pulling. Transmission gear ratio, it could be between 355, 358. You got 378, you got 390. There's different types of gear ratios. When you haul general freight, a 355 rear end with a 13 speed and anything that's got 500, I'd say 470, 500 horse will work pretty much anywhere in the country. But when you're on the West Coast, and a lot of guys over there, they deal with a lot deeper mountains and valleys over there. I'm sure you know because you're from California.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got
The
some mountains over there.
grapevine, and yeah.
Over there, you want more of a 18 speed, a 355 rear end, and you want something with at least 500 horsepower. And I'm saying this because it doesn't matter what truck has that. You just want that ratio. You want that setup like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running like me in the Midwest, you can do fine with a 10-speed transmission and 355 rear. You can even do fine with a 340. But because you're just flatlands. I mean, think about it. How many mountains are in Nebraska? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But then horsepower, if you got 450 to 500 horsepower, that should work. And the reason why I'm breaking it down like this because I want
Mm-hmm.
people to get out of the mindset of no, I got to have a Freightliner. No, I need a Volvo. I need a Kenworth. It doesn't matter. It matters on your setup. The setup is what's gonna give you the fuel economy you need, give you the
Mm-hmm.
power that you can haul whatever you're hauling. And
Mm-hmm.
it depends on what part of the country you're running. And I have, like I said, I got a whole video on this they can watch, and
Okay.
hopefully that gives some kind of help a little bit.
Okay. Now let me do this, guys, and also shout out to Doug and shout out to my uncle Ron Miles in the business, he's also been in trucking too for a long time. Guys, check out HT Logistics YouTube channel. I know I got a lot of new subscribers over here. They've been playing on my notifications, but make sure that if you guys are here, subscribe and hit the bell on the channel, right? And we're doing that so that you brothers can pretty much get the information when it comes out for his channel. I'm telling you, is one of the, it doesn't just talk about trucking, it talks about managing your business, taxes, how to pay yourself, all that. So, Big Chris is really like a guru when it comes to every in and out about, basically operating your personal business to how you should operate your finances to all of that. So you guys are really missing out on a lot of key information. Even if you're not in trucking, he still has one of the better channels out there. So shout out to Mr. Grandeur. What up, brother Kenny Conjo? Let me do this. I know we have not too long because you didn't want to spend so long on here today, but maybe there are some brothers that have some questions. Unless there was something that I missed. Obviously, I'm not in the trucking industry, so for guys that may have questions, I don't really know. But for those that do have, let me ask you one question, right? Since you've been trucking, how long? I know you were driving cabs for a minute and you were driving buses. Now you're driving trucks. How long have you been driving, operating as an independent owner?
Almost 7 years.
7 years. What autonomy have you been able to do financially in your life since you've been in this last 7 years? What has allowed you to be able to do?
It's allowed me to have more freedom, and that's why I got into it for. I know a lot of people they get into it for financial purposes, and that can happen if you do it the right way. That's why I made my channel because people that have that observation, that's what they want to do. If they can follow the simple, basic fundamentals I teach on my channel, you will get there in due time. But for me, it's allowed me more freedom, as you know. Um, I gave up my simping days on the traveling. I gave them up. But back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I've been simping. So
Right.
it allowed me to move around. So when I would, get on something that was worth simping over, as they say, I could travel back and forth and see her. And that's what it allowed me to do more of, and allowed me to save more money for like investments and stuff like that. And also, I just didn't want to work. I don't know, man. These guys, these company drivers, when you do it so long, after a while, you just get tired of running like that. I don't want to run 3,500 miles every single week, and they talking to me crazy. And I just wanted to be able to travel freely, have money in my pocket, and that's what it provided me to do.
Okay. Now let me do this. And guys who also, let me just say this. I feel like I for my trucks, my Hall of Game shows, those guys who are in the trucking community and you guys want to put it in a trucking opinion, because Big Chris is not always available for that particular show. I will include him on the hall for the hangouts. But you guys that are truckers, you can email me at planetoshay@gmail.com. I'm willing to collaborate with the brothers that are in this industry that might want to come on and join us on the Hall of Game. Because sometimes I think that we leave out the truckers' point of view on this, and we have more truckers, I think, than anything. So if guys that are truckers that you want to get on, and you want to be invited and come on to our business shows, just email me at planetoshay@gmail.com and just put trucking, and I'll go ahead and read it. Shout out to brother Gary Farmer. He's been independent truck driver for over 30 years. Let me ask you this. What are some of the most common questions? And guys who have questions for AC Logistics, I think we have about 10 or 15 minutes. You guys can ask them, and then we'll go ahead and field those questions. What are some of the most common questions that you typically get from people that are looking to get in the industry, are for truckers that are already in the industry and need your senior leadership?
Basically, for the most part, I get questions on what type of trucks to get and stuff like that. That's why I explain the setup, the ratio, and the gear and all that, because that's something that people put so much effort into and they don't have to. Another question I get is, should they go independent or not? Like they want to be an owner operator, but they want to go out and get their own authority and run under themselves. Should they do it or not? And I always tell people, as long as you have your money right. And I used to have a saying on my channel, you gotta have your money right. I used to have them say it with me in their head. I gotta have my money right. If you got your money right and you have your connections, then yes, you can go independent whenever you want, you know. But the key is, and I want to say this, because I notice a lot of people do this with owner operators. They put all of us in the same boat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, and I try to explain people, a good owner operator is good at everything. You're not just a owner. You're not just a trucker. You know what I'm saying? You're good at everything. You understand business. You understand how to research things. You understand how to do light duty work. You understand how to put things together for yourself. Be assertive, not just be held by the hand. And well, you got to go to this and you got to do this. You got to call this guy or you got to sit. No, actually go out and be assertive a little bit and make it happen for yourself. Those are the ones that end up doing the best. The ones that they're always on the fence. Well, I don't know. I don't know, HT. Those are the people that shouldn't be doing it. you know. Um, but I try to motivate people on my channel to learn the business, which is not hard to do.
Okay.
Learn about trucks. Learn more about the industry as a whole, not just well, I want to get a big old fancy Peterbilt and haul up and down the highway blowing everybody's doors off and looking like I got money. No, let's have
Right.
some money. Let's actually get money.
Okay. 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 Let me see what we have. 3D Burns, please super chat all questions. Now Ron says, don't go independent until you have experience money in contract. Let me ask you this, right? Okay, one question. I want to talk about automation at some point, but let's talk about this. Some people have, how many trucks do you operate? Like you have one or do you have more than one?
I just have my one.
Okay. What is stopping you? Like Palmer says, my brother-in-law has 5 rigs. Shout out to brother Kenny Conjo. Would you ever consider getting another truck and another driver, or are you just cool with the one truck you have?
I'm cool because, like I said, everybody's getting into it for a different reason. I got into it even like with the relationship I have right now. My woman, she's from the Philippines.
Right.
With what I'm doing right now, I can accomplish exactly what I want to accomplish. I can go, man. This pandemic is killing me, man. Because I should be on the plane right now. you know what I'm saying? I should be
Right.
going and seeing her right now. So for me, I got into it purely for freedom. I don't need 5 or 6 trucks to get that freedom. I have a very small lifestyle. I'm not a person that needs to make $1 million a year. So,
Okay.
but I do want my freedom. I don't want somebody controlling the way I move. So that's why I did it. But that's the only reason I haven't expanded. I don't. But I encourage people that do want to expand. As long as you got your money right, you can do whatever you want in this industry.
Okay. Okay. Now let me and shout out to BB Thomas. Bad drivers will kill your business. Let me ask you this. What about this automation thing, right? Because people have been talking a lot about automation. Automation is going to kill the trucking industry and all of that. What's your takes on that? And then we'll go ahead and talk to Brother West Splash. But what's your take on the automation thing?
I really don't even think about it because I know by the time all this is gonna be, thriving to where it's really out there, I'm gonna be an old man because they've had too many accidents already with it. Yes, they say, well, we're improving, yeah, but it takes is one accident, then they gotta go back to the drawing board. So right
Right.
now they're on the drawing board right now trying to figure it out. But you gotta
Right.
also let me give some $1 million game about
Go
people that
ahead.
don't
Drop.
understand this, right?
Okay.
They gotta have sensors in streets and lights and everywhere for this to work. Because remember, this is a machine trying to do what a human is doing. So that means it's operate off sensors. It's operate off electronic setup.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
long? This is the real question. How long will it take for them to build a grid that's in the United States to where the truck can operate without something, and they're not even gonna let it be without a human in there. They're gonna have a human actually in the truck. You just not driving it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still there just in case it goes haywire. So why is anybody worried about that? I mean, this might be another 15, 20, 30 years.
Right.
So I wouldn't worry about it. I would What people need to focus on right now is figuring out what they want to do in trucking. Do I want to get into this and go all the way, or do I want to get in this, get my money, and get out? I wouldn't worry about something taking your job because it takes so much. Now, of course, the left wing, the liberals, they want it. They want us out. But and I'm not gonna start no politics, but I'm just saying.
Right. Right.
But it's gonna take so much for that to happen. You might be out of trucking by then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't worry about it if I was people.
Let me ask you this, right? West Splash, looking on starting a trucking business in Africa because of the huge demand. HG, what tip would you give someone who has no experience but wants to start a trucking business in another country? Whoa.
I don't know who HG is, but no, it's
Oh,
fine.
I like that. HG.
No, that's what it said. That's what it says on there.
Yeah,
HG.
yeah, yeah. Probably meant
No, but yeah, basically it ain't no different from starting business here. You got to understand what the market is there. You got to understand what equipment they have there. They may not have the same trucks and trailers that we have here, so you got to understand that. But mainly it's the market. How much money can you make? It's all about cash flow. Just like I tell people all the time, because people always talk to me about real estate. Trucking and real estate is exactly the same. It's
Mhm.
about cash flowing. What am I getting after all my expenses? So if it's not going to make sense when because I'm gonna just say this real quick, because I want people to really understand this. There's three reasons why people fail, and I'm gonna do a video in the future on this. But there's three reasons why people fail when they start a business. Doesn't matter if it's in another country or not. Number one is lack of research. That's number one. They don't research anything. That's why I'm telling this brother, he need to research the market and see what the rates are going for over there. He need to see what the equipment is, how much the equipment, the upfront cost is, and then on top of that, how much is it going to be for me to operate? And then you got to put the dollars and the cents together and see if it makes it. Number
Mhm.
two is
Mhm.
people go underfunded. They don't have enough money up front. They'll have just enough to get in business, and then when they don't understand the growing pains of growing a successful business, which is
Mhm.
always in the beginning, they
Mhm.
get sunk out. That's why a lot of these guys that's protesting down in DC and Texas, they protesting because they made the business 101 week one mistake. You don't go in over your head. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's a big no-no. And the third and final one, because we got the lack of research, lack of funding, they don't reach out to people. They don't call
Mhm.
brokers. They don't call other people that got experience and get some knowledge from them, especially with people you want to make money with.
Okay.
Like brokers, customers, they don't do any of that. So therefore they're at the mercy of whatever. It's like, well, I'm just gonna get what I get, you know, instead of, trying to do that. But go ahead.
No, 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 no. That's good information. And that's that seems like a lot of problem with black people, just in general, black brothers in general, man. Like that's a lot of problems that we damn sure have. So I'm glad that you talked about that. And what I would say is, and shout out to Brother Bougie Talks. We got to do it. Yeah, hit me up, Brother Bougie. Let me say this. I don't know about African trucking, right? But I will say one thing. Any black man coming to Africa or anywhere else. I was talking to Uncle Ron Miles not too long ago. Whatever business that you're doing in America, please understand that first. The last thing that you want to do is come here and not know what you're doing. All right. You don't want to do that. The only reason why, and I got locked down here, the only reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing, because I understand, content creation business. I understand, how to move, how to create content, because I've been in this business for a while. So this is why I'm able to do this. Don't you dare listen to what I'm saying. Don't you dare come to Africa and start a business you know nothing about. Don't you dare do that. Whatever that you need to do before you come here, get your foot wet in America. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. You hear me? I will come to your house personally and listen. You dare do that. That is a no-no. That is a no-no. Don't do it. I was talking to Uncle Ron the same thing. But at least Uncle Ron, he understands with things that I was telling you, brothers. I'll tell you this because I really care. Don't you dare do that. First thing you ever want to do when you come to Africa, I'll tell anybody, come and see if you like it first. Don't do nothing. Just see if you like it. You might come here and it might not be for you. Come and see if you like it first. All right. Then after you see if you like it, if you can move around and can you be invested in it, then go back to the United States, get your stuff together in the United States, and then be prepared to make little trips here and go back, little trips here and go back. It's a process. So, brother, if you want to get involved in trucking and wherever you are located, get involved where you're at now, learn that game now. And then when you want to come to Africa and then you want to get knowledge as you're, building connections, don't just come here with 100,000, whatever. No, because you're going listen, niggas in Africa ain't no joke, bro. It can get ugly. It can get ugly real quick. So shout out to Brother Bougie Talks. Hey, yo, shit, Ugandan boy back again in support. I appreciate purpose conversations. They propel men to more value. Greetings to all you Bukoto residents. You motivate me to make more content, man. Bukoto, that's on mine. That's my new neighbor. That's my new hood. Bukoto in the building. Yeah, let me. I don't know. Is there anything else that maybe that brothers have, the questions that you guys have, or any questions that other brothers have? Hello, you there?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were talking to me or the audience.
Oh no. Yeah, any other questions that you typically field, or are basically have that brothers typically have? Anything else that you want to add? Because you know this stuff more.
Yeah, one thing I will say, because I noticed, and it's common, it's more common on social media. But one thing I will say, I think it's okay and it's cool to get your information, but at the end of the day, and I know my channel is a good foundation channel, but at the end of the day, people got to really just decide if this is going to be worth the efforts they're going to put into it, because you're going to have to do a lot of research to be successful. Everybody knows this saying, and I say this because this happens all the time in trucking: a fool and his or her money shall soon part.
Right.
Because people think because they have money, I'm going to go out and buy a truck and whoop it. No, you can go out and buy that truck and lose everything.
Right.
You might have, I don't care if you got 25,000 in the bank, that's 25,000 that you're ready to donate to the trucking industry.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing. So you got to put in the time and get the research done, talk to people that's got experience. There's channels out there that'll help. Obviously mine probably is probably one of the best ones, only because I come from a very beginning standpoint. I don't care about how you run your business. You got to get into business the right way. And I have this saying all the time. I tell my mentor, Outlaw 76, that's a guy I talk to regularly. Me and him talk all the time, and I tell people all the time, I can teach you how to be in business without losing your business. And that's my saying. That's my saying to everybody. That's why you got to know the research, understand what you're doing, then make the investment. Don't just be in a rush because everybody all over social media saying, you got to be an owner operator. You need to be independent. You can't be a company driver. You need to get your worth and whoop, because you might be in a position right now. You're doing very well, but you end up listening to some Yahoo. And before you know it, you in unemployment line or something,
Right. What up, brother Great Britain? So, guys, let me do this. For those who subscribe, hit the bell on this channel. Let me do that because Chris was nice enough to come back over here. Like I said, he is our reigning trucking YouTube channel of the year, and like I said, we are gonna get the Negro Manosphere Awards. It's next month. So me and Solo TV84, we are working on a really, really, really good Negro Manosphere Awards for 2020. We got Newcomer of the Year, we got Finance this year, we got Trucking, we got Best Travel Channel, Best Pro Black Channel. I mean, we got new categories, right? Best Tech Channel. So, best a lot of stuff, right? Best Entertainment Channel. So we got a lot of different things, man. And we're going to have a really good award show, a Zoom show that we're going to do. We're going to have a lot of guests, like an 8-hour, 9-hour stream, best moderator. Doug cleans up every year. So we're going to have that. We got a lot of awards that we're going to be giving out. So brothers, I do appreciate you guys for that. So stay tuned. It's always a good battle for the votes, right? So we're gonna run those votes for a month and or maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So the brothers get a kick out of it every year. It's like a third year doing it. So that's his channel, right? HT Logistics. You will definitely appreciate Big Chris. And like I said, he also talks about how to run your business, just basically how to pay yourself, things like that. Press one if you have subscribed, hit the bell. And well, let me ask you this, Chris. Also, I do see that you're talking about travel talk, online dating. Stop wasting your time, brother. Are you ever going to get back into the travel stuff and things like that? White man holding him back.
Lately, because obviously what's going on, ain't nobody traveling. So, but yeah, I help a lot of people offline when it comes to finding flights, dating and stuff like that. I try to give my 2 cents on that. A lot of people they see me in my videos with the young lady that
Mhm.
I'm with, which I'm happily with. And some of them want to emulate that. So I just give out advice on how to make that happen. Depending on what side of the fence you're on, because if you are on the tricking side and the traveling having fun, you just you just don't need to run out of money. That's all.
Right, right. And
But
you,
if
you
you
you you know how I like that tricking now. You know how
yeah, as long as you don't run out of money, and as long as you don't get suckered into one woman, you'll be fine on the trekking side. But if you're looking for a companion, that takes a
Mhm.
little time because a lot of guys, and it happens a lot. I know because some guys are older, but you just can't travel thousands and thousands of miles just for one woman, and that's where I try to help guys, try to help them meet different girls and stuff like that. So you're not just over there if this blows up in your face, oh, I'm just, now I'm SOL. So, and I try to give advice on how to avoid scamming because a lot of people, that's the biggest thing. Just like the biggest slogan in trucking is there ain't no money in trucking, but nobody tells you why there's no money for them. Same thing with dating. People say, I went over to this country and I got scammed, but you didn't tell people where you went and what you did to get scammed. And I try to help people avoid that.
Okay. Okay. So, and guys, now again, I'll pose to have my Hall of Game, the podcast. If not, I'll try to come back with Brother Linnell. Y'all know I'm trying to get all my shows. So many brothers. Shout out to Great Britain, right? Off top, just finish up weekend PMI. Talk about minority contractors, please. What is PMI, Brother Chris?
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about too.
What, brother Great Britain? What's PMI?
You're gonna have to
And
explain that one.
yeah, all
Cause I
right.
don't know
We'll
if he's
just
talking
wait for.
about Cause I'm if he's talking about trucking, I'm thinking of a preventative maintenance like PM, not PMI, like a PM,
Okay.
preventative
Okay.
maintenance. But
Let's see what he got to say. And guys, let me tell you something about Big Chris. Right, Big Chris makes enough money. Primary maintenance. I have one question, Big Chris. You've been on YouTube for some time now. Do you think that YouTube can become more lucrative than trucking? If as a trucking YouTuber, if you were to upload more regularly and stuff like that, do you think that trucking that YouTube platform is actually could become more lucrative or can make as much income as trucking itself?
not with trucking, no. It's not a you gotta remember the trucking sector is a very tiny sector. It's not like a major one like gaming or political talk or
Right,
cooking or
right.
like most women, and I'm not trying to hate on women. I love my beautiful black sisters and my queens and all that, but let's just be honest. If they was looking like the back of a donkey, nobody would watch them. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right, right,
If they
right.
wasn't showing nothing, you know what I'm saying? So that seems to be what everybody tends to trend to. Trucking is more of because there's different things that you follow truckers for. Some people love the drama. Actually, most people they love the drama. They want to see somebody tear somebody else down. That's what they follow. And it's just like watching
Oh,
TV.
hmm.
Information, I can't see anybody that wants to be an informative channel making that kind of because we're talking like six figures, you know what I'm saying, to really supplement what you can make on your own.
Hmm.
I don't see that happening. And I'm not trying to hate and saying it's not possible, but it's very small because of how small our sector is on YouTube. For example, there was an African brother that ran into me last night up here in Green Bay. He knew who I was. But why did he know who I was? It wasn't because I'm some big popular YouTuber. No, it's because he's in the trucking sector and it's such a
Right,
small sector. If you have 5,000 subscribers, somebody's going to know who you are just
right.
because of we're so small. So when you have a larger audience and you can get a couple thousand views of video, think about it, that's a couple thousand people in a very tiny sector. That means there's a lot of people focusing on you. So of course they're gonna be able to spot you somewhere or be able to see you be popular. But It's not like somebody who has 1 million subscribers who's getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views daily, who's
Right.
got sponsorships and stuff. That's not
Right.
gonna happen.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, even the trucking sectors and even in the black manosphere, which ours is um, it's bigger than trucking, but we have a harder sector too. But no, I do see it, man, and I do thank you because I'll tell you one thing: I know that you don't need to come on and talk to guys. You do it out of love. So I thank you for doing that because a lot of your subscribers are black men, and they do get help. A lot of brothers don't give the knowledge that you do. But I just want to say this for all brothers that are interested in coming on and sharing the knowledge and participating. I know Dr. JC, PhD, is a trucker. He comes on the Hall of Game, and hopefully we can get Big Chris on there. Just get more knowledge out there for brothers, right? Because we need to give more knowledge out. And again, I can't wait for the Manosphere Awards to come out. People get to vote, So guys, I do thank you. I appreciate you guys. Anything else that you want to add?
I just if they're gonna do it, just be smart about it. Don't just listen to a bunch of people out here that just say whatever and they're just literally trying to get your viewership and all that. Actually, start researching stuff. Do things on your own. That's how I started. Because when I started watching YouTube trucking and stuff like that back in the day, I always went behind what they said and looked into stuff. I didn't just go off them and watch somebody and just follow them and hope that, maybe I get a handout here and there. No, I actually went and started looking into things. And then I realized on my own that, hey, I'm getting better connections or I'm doing things better than what this person's even saying on the YouTube. So I just encourage brothers to do their research on stuff, get into it, figure out if you like this, if you want to do this or not, and then grow from there. Don't rush in. Hey, trucking ain't going nowhere. As much as people want to be negatives and they want to say that it ain't going nowhere, not for a while.
Okay. All right. So Dr. JC. All right. So Doc, I hit you up. So I'm just responding, waiting for some people to I'm gonna do another stream or two tonight. I gotta get them out. Guys, I really thank you. Brothers, thank you for supporting the Hall of Game tonight with Brother AC Logistics. And one of the things that I've been trying to do with this content is to see what appeals to brothers as far as this kind of niche stuff, right? And I've been trying to, bring together the best black men I know that have, information in these industries. I really want to use my channel to help our people, right? Help our brothers give something valuable. I don't get me wrong, I do like the entertainment shit and talking stuff, but we as black men, we have a lot of good people out here, and we want to support our brothers that need to get into these businesses, right? Because we need to pull our brothers into businesses that make money, and if we can make more money, we can do different things. And and I'm thankful to God for brothers like Big Chris. He's always been like this since I've known him, and he would do anything to help you. So brothers out there, if you can subscribe to Big Chris HT Logistics 3434, you will not regret it. You can get a lot of your questions answered. He don't have to do it, but he's willing to do it. And we got a lot of other brothers out here like this. So thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for your service as a truck driver. Keeping the country going. Any last words you want to say, brother?
Just like I said, be smart about it. And you're right. I know I don't have to do it, but I just like helping people in general who don't understand this business, so that they can have a secondary outlook, secondary opinion, and not get into a high financial situation to where they owe a ton of money or been swindled and all that. I just want to try to help us brethren out here and keep us on the straight and narrow where we can just get straight to the money.
All right. And again, thank you, Brother Black Hog Vlogs, for that. Guys, I'm gonna be back. Maybe I'll do like a educated niggathon stream or something like that. But I'm gonna try to figure it out. Give me about an hour. Thanks again, Big Chris. And keep liking the video, brothers. Subscribe at the bell. Thanks again, HT. Hopefully I'm gonna email you after so we can do something again with the Hall of Game and just getting your input with the rest of the brothers out here. Thanks, Brother B. Thomas. And see you guys in a few minutes. All right. Thanks again, Brother HT.
All right. Appreciate it.
Peace, brother.